Hey everyone, today I'm going to be reviewing the Batman Unlimited Batman Arkham Origins Batman. It's a lot of Batmans from Mattel. Actually, just like the Aquaman figure, I owned this figure before at one point. Although unlike that one, I owned this one for quite a while and I sold it along with my Movie Masters Alfred and a lot of other cool figures when, as I think I've mentioned before, just in a moment of craziness. But I have it now again, and for the first time I own it new in box. As you can see, the figure is still in the box, and the reason for that is because this is a very old figure. This is 10 years old at this point. This came out in 2013, same year the game came out. And yeah, like I said, I've never owned it new in box, so I'm kind of excited. It's cool to see the packaging in person for the first time. So let's get into it and take a look at the box. So up here it says Adult Collector and Batman Unlimited, and I'm trying to kind of make out, I think, yeah, these are just bats. Just a bunch of bats. And on the side here we get a concept art image of Batman, which I think looks really bad actually. Doesn't do justice to the final in-game model. Got the Arkham Origins logo. Nothing on the other side except these damn air holes, which is very annoying to mint on card collectors out there. Like I've said before, I'm not one of them, but I don't know, it's kind of annoying even if you're not, because dust and stuff can get in the box and discolor the figure easier. It's just not cool. There's no reason for it. On the back we get Batman Unlimited again, larger image of that concept art. Then up here we get, as a young boy, Bruce Wayne saw his parents fall victim to a senseless crime. He vowed to avenge their deaths by fighting Gotham's criminal element as Batman. Tonight, the stakes are higher than ever, a bounty on his head, deadly assassins tailing his every move, and a vicious new menace in town, all on Christmas Eve no less. Still a novice, Batman must hone his detective prowess, combat skills, and create specialized gadgets to protect his city and himself on this not-so-silent night. That's actually a really cool description, I gotta admit. Over here we got some stats, which are pretty obvious but kind of fun. Real name Bruce Wayne, occupation CEO, crime fighter, powers, abilities, skills, vast arsenal of weapons and gadgets. And then over here we get the apparently only other two figures in the line or series. Not really too sure how this Batman Unlimited series worked. This appears to be from Beware the Batman. I've never seen that show. Didn't appeal to me, but I know that was a thing that was happening around the time. Don't think many people watched it, but yeah. And we get Deathstroke also from the game. I know this figure exists. I've seen it. Might actually get it at some point too, even though it's like in a lot of ways very inferior to the DC Collectibles one. It's 6-inch scale, which makes it superior in other ways, so I might get it. But yeah, that is all for this box. I have waited patiently to review this so I can open it, so let's crack it open and get on with the review. So here we got him out of the box, and you know, unfortunately I have to say it's very disappointing for me to say this, but I think this might even be the first time this has ever actually happened to me, where I've owned something, sold it, and then rebought it, and then kind of went, oh, you know, maybe that's why I sold it. This figure has flaws. They are unfortunate flaws, but we'll get into them. Let's take a look at the figure. kind of go over the flaws as we go. It's got a kind of a pinhead. The sculpt's not terrible, but it's I think the head's too small. I do, and that's one of the problems. Get into some of the other ones later, but the other one is that the cape is so heavy and large that it can't really stand, that I've seen. Yeah, so I have him, shit, I have him balancing on the back of his cape here. I do like the cape's large like that. It gives it a interesting, distinction between it and other Batman figures, but it shouldn't be doing this. It shouldn't be doing it at all. And it's not spread as much as it could be due to the way it's packaged in the box, which is kind of unfortunate. But yeah. Another issue that I have with it is that this may be kind of hard to see on camera, but I feel like the arms are like too small, and I remember this. I had forgotten, but the upper arms look proportional, but then the lower arms just kind of, I don't know, they just don't look right. They look too small. And maybe like they don't even go low enough. I don't know. I remember them being really huge in the game, the gauntlets and stuff. And it's a very strange image that it gives off. Now, in terms of paintwork, I think they did a reasonable job. The face is pretty basic, but, there it is. But I do like the kind of almost messy look to the way they applied the gray paint for the gray parts of the suit. Just looks kind of stylized and maybe scuffy, and I like that. I think the belt looks fantastic, and I like the boots. I actually like that they didn't make the upper thighs really poofy like they were in the game. That's something I like. But yeah, let's get into articulation. So, articulation is probably one of the better suits of this figure, or points of it. It has several things going for it that do put it above other Mattel figures of the time. The first is that it can look up really far, and I do appreciate that. Even the Mattel figures in the, some of their last figures couldn't do this, as we saw with the Aquaman figure. I think even without the hair, he wouldn't have been able to. So it's really good, almost like Marvel Legends level. You can't really look down, but I do appreciate that upward movement. He does go out at the arm. There is no swivel here, which is strange, so they gave him a Hasbro joint. If you know, you know. He can bend at the elbow. Thankfully about 90, unlike the Arkham City one. But this is where he rotates. But yeah, that's known as a Hasbro joint. Nobody really likes it. He can actually move his fists in like that, which I don't know if I ever discovered that the last time I owned this. I do appreciate that though. This is something that hurts the figure. It has no ab crunch. That's the last probably point that I have to make about it. There's really no excuse. It does look stylistically better, but even the Arkham City one had it. There's no reason this one shouldn't have had it. He does have splitting at the legs really far. Does have the old Mattel T-joint, but doesn't look too bad here. Not really bad at all, actually. He does rotate at the upper thigh. And then here's the other point that gets a lot of brownie points for me. He's got double jointed knees, which, as far as I know, this is the first recorded use of double jointed anything by Mattel. They did implement double jointed knees before they ever did elbows, but I think this was the first recorded use, and I don't think they used it again. Honestly, could be wrong because I only collected the movie figures, but I don't think they used it again until the Flash from Justice League. I remember being surprised by that too, but they don't go quite as far as I would like them to. Not Aquaman levels, but that is more than 90, so I appreciate it. And then he does have a joint here at the foot, but really doesn't do much, which is unfortunate. It's another point that got to take off for that. And the other thing is, man, he has no accessories. Not a one. I mean, man, it's just shitty because I think what's really shitty is, like, not only were we not getting many 6-inch figures at the time that this came out, I think these three were like the only ones, and they were really focusing on their 3 3/4-inch line. And we got so many different characters for that line. I didn't collect it because I'm not into that scale, but it just wasn't fair, and I think they had more accessories too. It was just not fair. We got like Black Mask, we got Michael Keaton Batman. Just not fair. They never gave the same love to the 6-inch figures, even when they started caring more again. When they did Multiverse, we still just never got like a Michael Keaton Batman. But anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. He has no accessories, and I don't think that's cool. I think he should have come with a Batarang and a grapple gun, and I think he should have come with some extra hands so you could use those. So overall, well, I guess I'll do size comparison. So, stand him up here. Here he is next to the Val Kilmer Batman and Arkham City Robin. And you can see he's about the same height, so that's good. If only he could stand, though. And here he is next to Aquaman and a Marvel Legends Captain America. As you can see, he's a decent amount shorter than Aquaman. And he is taller than Captain America. Unfortunately for these size comparisons, I've decided to start phasing out the comparison with Movie Masters because I just don't feel they're really relevant anymore, and what can I say, I'm too lazy. So, overall for this figure, it's okay. It's an okay figure. If I hadn't been a hoe for getting this new, could have got him for maybe $30-35. If I really looked around, I did see him, I think, for that price, used. And I think I would have been like more okay with my purchase, but I don't know. I don't really like buying used too much whenever possible, and I did want the experience of seeing the box and stuff for the first time, but yeah, this is just a really okay figure. I can't recommend it unless you can get it for cheap and you really love Arkham Origins or something. But on the other hand, unless Mafex, God, I hope they do, makes one of these or something, this is the only 6-inch scale Arkham Origins Batman figure you can get. Unfortunately, the DC Collectibles is 7-inch. But yeah, I paid almost $50 for this, which I think almost immediately, even before it came and I was disappointed with it, I was just like, man, that's too much. But at the same time, it was the cheapest I'd seen it for in-box, so I bought it pretty quick. But yeah, Unless you're an Arkham Origins super fan, can't recommend it. Just not a great figure. So yeah, thanks for watching. That's all for this review, and until next time.